This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good morning. I hope I'm audible. Right. So what is the last topic? Hmm? Where statement type in there? So moving on to next concept, combining data sets. Moving on to next concept, combining data sets. We can combine data sets in multiple ways. Uh, First one, concatenation. Second one, interleaving. Uh, uh, Third one, merge. Fourth one, update. We can combine data sets in many ways: concatenation, interleaving, merge, update. So first one, concatenation. Combining two or more SAS data sets into a single data set. Combining two or more SAS data sets into a single SAS data set, one after the other using set statement. One after the other using set statement. Okay, right. So combining two or more data sets into a single data set, one after the other using set statement. One after the other using set statement. So I have two data sets. So right now we are able to read any kind of data from any kind of data source, correct? If you wanted to apply attributes, you can do it, right? If you wanted to apply attributes, you can do. So whatever the way you wanted to present the data, whatever the way you wanted to present your variable attributes, we can do it, correct? Right. Now, whenever I have two data sets, I wanted to combine multiple data sets into one. Okay, so you see, right? Combining two or more data sets into a single data set, one after the other using set statement. So it will combine set statement. What it will do is it will combine two or more data sets into one single data set. So first data set followed by second data set observations. The number of observations in new data set is equal to sum of number of observations from original data sets. So the total number of observations in your final data set will have total number of observations from DS1, DS2. Suppose to say DS1 I have 10 observations, DS2 I have 10 observations. So DS3 combined how many will have? 10 plus 10, 20 observations. So one point to be noted, concatenation is basic for next level concept proc append. If you are clear with concatenation, going forward in procedures, we will have a concept called proc append. So if you are clear here, that concept will be very easy for you. So I want everyone to focus. Okay. So Raskona point Raskona. Concatenation is base topic for proc append. Concatenation is base topic for proc append. Because many of you will forget concatenation when I explain proc append. So for at that time, I already told you right now, concatenation is base topic for proc append. So I will ask you to refer your notes, then you will say yes. Otherwise, you will tend to forget. Hmm? Right. The second data set observations followed by first data set observations. So one after the other means that is only right. Next, if original data sets contains same variables, the variables in new data set is same as the variables in original data sets. Suppose to say DS1 has variables ABC, DS2 has the variables ABC, DS3 what you will have? Right. So you can see here, so DS1 will have 10 observations, DS2 will have 10 observations. So observations you will get a total, but in terms of variables you have ABC, ABC, DS1 has ABC variables, DS2 has ABC variables, DS3 will have ABC variables, right? If original data sets contains different variables, observation from one data set having missing values for variables in new data set. Suppose to say I have A, B, C, D in first data set. I don't have a D, means in DS2 I have only ABC. Final data set, what variables it will contain? It will contain all the variables A, B, C, D, but you will find missing values for D because I don't have the variable D in second data set. Okay, right. That is what the point is. If original
All
data
value
set,
is missing, sir.
no, from DS2 it will be missing.
Okay, all DS value.
No, yeah. So in DS3 is a combination of DS1, DS2, right? So DS1
Okay,
you will have values for D. DS2 I don't have values for D. So first 10 observations you will have value for D. Next 10 observations it will be missing.
okay, fine, sir.
No problem. Every statement I'll give you an example. Every case I'll give you an example. No worries. This is just a theory I'm explaining. After that I'll show each and every case. Right. If original data sets contains different data types, if original data sets contains different data types, concatenation will not happen. So both the data sets has different types, data types, concatenation will not happen. Okay, right. So you can see here, if you wanted to combine this, make sure both the data sets are same day, same variable names and same data types. Okay, so if you have same data types, then only it will combine. Otherwise, no. Right. If original data sets contains different lengths for variables, concatenation is done. Suppose to say in data set 1 I have variable A. Variable A is 10 characters. Data set 2 I have variable A. Here it is 8 characters. So whatever the data set you first specify after set statement, your final data set will take length from that first data set. Means DS1 10 characters, right? Your DS3, your variable A will have 10 characters. If you write to set DS2 after the DS1, in your final data set, variable A will have 8 characters only. So is this clear to everyone, yes or no? Right. So now I'll show you example for each and every case. So first of all, here case number 1, I want everyone to read this case. So both the data sets has same variables. The variables in new data set are same as the variables in original data sets. Suppose to say I have a data set DS1, I have a data set DS2, DS has a variables patient ID, drug name, visit it. DS2 has patient ID, drug name, visit it. So set DS1, DS2. Normally, if you're writing one single
Mister,
set
your voice is
statement,
not clear.
sorry, is my voice clear to
Sound
everyone?
sounds not clear.
Is my voice clear to everyone?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you please check at your end here? See, actually, I have a cold, so my voice is bit changed. But if you see any disturbances, please log off and log in again. Right. So whenever you're writing set ds1, what happens? Arey yaar. Whenever you're writing set statement ds1, what happens? It will copy all the information. We know that concatenation using set statement, correct? So if I write this program, what information you will have in ds3? ds1 information, correct? So whenever you're writing set statement, it will read all ds1 values into ds3. If I add one more data set name here, so it will read all ds2 values also into ds3. First, it has already read ds1 values, right? Next, it will read all ds2 values into ds3 data set. So this is how I can combine multiple data sets into one single data set. So if you run the program, you see log window. So DS1 has 10 observations, DS2 has 10 observations. Final data set DS3 has 20 observations. Okay, so this is how it works. If original data sets contains different variables, observations from one data set having missing values for variables in new data set. For example, DS1 I have the variables patient ID, drug name, visit date. I have new variable 6. Okay, I have this information for DS1. For DS2, I don't have it. You see, right? Below is the DS2 values, right? So now, patient ID, drug name, visit date 6. So if you run the program, what all the variables you'll get into final data set? If you run the program, what all the final variables you get into your data set? It reads all the 4 variables, patient ID, drug name, visit date 6. Correct. Yes or no? It will read all the variables from all the data sets. But for variable x, you will see missing values. First 10 observations, you have values for variable x. Next 10 observations, you see them as missing values. Eleventh observation is first recorded in DS2. If you want, you can cross check 101 ASP 5MG 11 Jan 2011. Correct? 11th observation is nothing but first observation in DS2. Everyone clear, yes or no? Everyone clear? Right. Next. One more example I have. So I have variable age in second data set. So final data set will contain what all the variables it will contain. Final data set will contain, I'm adding extra age, right? So what all the variables it will contain? Patient ID, drug name, visit date, sex, age. And then you will have all the 5 variables. So for variable age, first 10 observations will be missing. Next 10 observations you have value. For variable sex, first 10 observation you have value, next 10 observations are missing because I don't have the information for sex in second data set, for age in first data set. Now we understood, right? It will create all the variables, but you will have missing values in that variables. If original data sets contains different types for variables, concatenation will not happen. If you see DS1, I'm creating variable patient ID as character data type. In this example, in input statement, you see after PID, I have written $sign. Correct. Correct. So now in second data set for PID, you have numeric. If you try to combine these data sets, SAS will throw an error. What is the error? Variable PID has been defined as both character and numeric. Now your SAS is really confused. In your final data set, it should create with character data type or numeric data type. Correct. So in this case, it will not do concatenation. So now, if you wanted to perform concatenation, make sure both the data sets has same data types. You see the same error, right? Same error, right? So now how to handle this error? Okay, now how to handle this error? The error how to handle is, I have to convert patient ID variable into numeric data type, correct? Agree, yes or no? So now, so whenever you're writing set statement, what happens? It copies all the information from DS1A to DS1 to DS1A, correct? If it is the same information, why to create another data set here? So here, I wanted to create a new variable and write values. P underscore ID1 is equal to, if you wanted to convert character data type to numeric data type, in SAS, we have a function called input function. If you wanted to convert character data type to numeric data type, in SAS, we have a function called input function. Input of your variable name, P underscore ID comma base dot. P underscore ID comma base dot. So if you run the program here, DS1A, P underscore ID1, you see, right? So you see same values, correct? But if you see this data type, it is numeric. This is character. So looking wise, you can understand if your data is aligned towards left, it is character data type. If your data is aligned towards right side, it is numeric data type, right? So if you have this variable in this data set, you cannot combine, correct? Because it will say PID has two different data types. So first thing, I will drop PID. So if I drop PID, what happens? PID variable will be removed. Correct? Now this is fine for you. This is fine for you now. Is it clear? Right. Now, one more challenge I have here is first data set I have the variable name as PID1. Second data set I have the variable as PID. Correct? PID1, PID. Correct? So now, if you see here, both the data sets has different variable names. What happens? In your final data set, it will create as a two separate columns. Avuna kada? PID it will create one column, PID1 it will create another column. Correct? So actually I have to get this information into PID only. So now there is no PID variable, right? If you wanted to change PID1 to PID, can I do it yes or no? Can I do it yes or no? If you wanted to change variable name PID1 to PID, can we do it yes or no? So how to do it? Hmm? How to do it? How to do it? What is the syntax?
Rename, sir.
Rename is the option we should choose. Rename is equal to packet start. The existing variable is p underscore id1. అంతేనా సింటాక్స్లు గుర్తులేవు గుర్తున్నాయి సింటాక్స్లు గుర్తుంటే చెప్పాలి కదా రైట్ యు సీ రైట్ PID. So now you have all your data in PID variable. All the data in PID variable is numeric data type. Agree, yes or no? Now, instead of combining with DS1, I will combine with DS1A. Clear? Clear to everyone, yes or no? So this is how I combine data sets. So the challenging part here is you have to use input function, store the variables into a new, store the values into a new variable. Drop your old variable, change variable name to, new variable. So PID1 to PID, right? So this is the simplest part which will help you to convert character data type to numeric data type. Suppose to say DS1 has 10 characters for a drug name. DS2 has 8 characters for a drug name. DS1 has 10 characters for a drug name. DS2 has 8 characters for drug name. So what happens? What happens if I combine these data sets? What happens? If I combine this data set, what happens?
Truncation.
Okay, so now you can see here drug name is 10 characters. Supposed to say I write MGML. So I want 10 characters. Now you see, right, if you count 10 characters are there, right? So whenever you're writing this colon format modifier, how it will work? How this colon format modifier will work? అందరిని పట్టుకుందంతా అందరిని పట్టుకుని తోచేస్తా బిల్డింగ్ పై నుంచి చెప్తున్నా. Colon format modifier, what it will do? You guys are not practicing basics. You
Take
guys are
free
not practicing
spaces as
basics.
well.
Sorry?
It takes free spaces as well.
No, yeah. It reads 10 characters or space, whichever comes first. It reads 10 characters or space, whichever comes first. DSD low, we covered it. We covered it in DSD in-file statement options, correct? We covered it in input statements. Each topic I'm covering 2 times. Still, if you are not able to answer, what here? You guys are not practicing. Huh? You guys are not practicing. Same topic I explained 2 times. Still, you guys are not able to do. No, yeah, please don't do that. Please practice every day. So if you're not practicing, you'll be into trouble. These are basics. If you're not good at basics, what you will do here? How will you work in real-time scenarios? So I was, not only this, for rename also many people not answered. Rename syntax also majority not answered. Why here? Rename syntax you guys don't remember? Huh? Simple concepts. If you're not able to remember, how will you do project? How will you do project? You guys don't want to do project? Do you think SAS is a time waste, time pass for you? Huh? So now you see, right, DS3 data set, correct? So DS3 data set you can see here. So you will have first data set length, correct? Your final data set will pick length from first data set. DS1 has how many characters now? 10 characters. It will pick 10 characters. So MGML is there, obviously can understand it is 10 characters, correct? So suppose to say Raj, no Raj, I wanted to read first to DS2 values only. So if you read DS2 values, what happens? It will first read DS2 values. In DS2, what is the length of the variable drug name? So your final data set will take length 8 characters. So 11th observation is nothing but first observation in DS1, correct? Agree, yes or no? Right. So 11th observation is first observation in DS1. So for first observation, I have written MGML, correct? So here it is not populating, right? You see, warning. What is the warning? Your SAS is clearly telling you multiple lengths were specified for variable drug name by input data sets. This can cause truncation of data. This can cause truncation of data. Okay, so now what I'm supposed to do is before reading this data itself, I have to fix length of the variable. If you wanted to assign length to a variable, how will you do it? We have to use length statement. Length. So I have to write before set statement or after set statement?
Before set statement and input statement, sir.
Before set statement. We have to write before set statement. If you're writing afterwards, what happens? Hmm?
By
It will
default, it
not
is
take
taken
length.
as 8 characters.
Right, default length it will take. So if you see DS3 data set, you have MGML, right? 11th record, you have 10 characters, right? So obviously, this is having 10 characters. So whenever you are using length statement and creating variable, that variable it will first display in final data set. Data DS1. Data DS1. So now you can see first OBS and OBS. How to use first OBS and OBS. We all know, right? First OBS, what it will do? Hmm? So DS1 has 10 observations, DS2 has 10 observations. If I run DS3, how many observations we get? How many? So DS1 has 10 observations, DS2 has 10 observations. So DS3 will get how many observations?
4, sir.
4 or 14?
4, sir.
4. Any other answers? Any answers? Any other answers? Hmm?
Sir.
Any answers? Any other answers?
6, sir. It starts from 4 to 10.
Mm-hmm. Count how many will be there?
5, sir. 5, 5.
It's 12.
Hmm.
Yeah, 5.
16, sir.
4, 5, 6, 7.
All answers are wrong. All answers are wrong. Only one replied right answer.
5, sir.
It is 17. It is 17. Whenever you are writing first OBS is equal to 4, it will start reading data from fourth record. So if you start reading data from 4 to 10, how many observations we get? 7 observations we get because we will include 4 as well. DS2 I'm not giving any conditions. So 10 you will get. 7 plus 10. 7 plus 10. 14
17.
అంటున్నారు, 3 అంటున్నారు, 6 అంటున్నారు. అందరినీ ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ కనబడి నా కళ్ళ ముందు కనబడండి ఒకసారి అందరు. Everyone come to class tomorrow. I will give you impositions. Huh? Very lazy. You guys have become very lazy. Huh? Basics. Again, you are doing mistakes in basics. DS3A. DS3A will get how many? DS1 how many
14, sir.
observations?
14.
14.
Yes, 14. DS1, how many observations you get?
15.
DS2,
15.
DS2, DS2, how many? Imposition rapid.
7.
DS2 OBS is equal to 7 అది. First OBS card. Okay, OBS is equal to 7 means it will read last data, right? So
And
7. 7 plus 7, 14 observations. So first 7 observations will come from DS1, 7 observations will come from DS2. Both together it will be 14. So DS3A will contain 14 observations. You see, right? 7 plus 7, right? DS3B, how many you'll get? How many you'll get? How many from DS1? How many from DS1?
14, sir. 15. Sorry, 15. DS1 10, DS2 5.
DS1 you will get all the 10 observations because I'm not giving any option there. Correct. DS2, I asked to read from 4 to 8. So 4 to 8, 8 minus 4 plus 1 because you have to add that 4 also, right? So 8 minus 4 plus 1 is 5. So DS3B will get 10 plus 5, 15 records.
15.
Hmm? Right. So this is how keep, drop, rename you practice. We go to Japaputana Kopos. Okay, right. Point equal to slice. If you wanted to read data from a specific data point, I wanted to read row number 2. I wanted to read row number 5. So if this is the case, I wanted to pick third record, I wanted to pick second record. I have one particular record to pick. So that is not based on these numbers. I want fourth row, third row like that. Okay, so if you wanted to do that, you have to use the option called point equal to slice. Point equal to slice means in slice you have to specify how many the data point you wanted to read. So slice is nothing but a piece, correct? Slice is nothing but a piece, correct? So slice is equal to 2. Set ds1 point equal to slice. So point equal to 2 means if it is a second data point, then only it will output to ds2. If it is a second data point, then only it will output to ds2. Stop. Once you are done, don't read rest others. Stop. Run. So if you run the program, it will pick second record from ds1 dataset. 1 or 2. So slice is equal to, you have to specify the position, point equal to slice, output, stop. Got it? Suppose to say if you wanted to pick multiple records, do slice is equal to 2 comma 4 comma 5. Suppose to say I want 3 records. Whenever you are writing do loop, compulsory we have to write end statement. Universal rule. Universal, not only in SAS, any software we use do loop should be ended with end statement. So if you run the program here, you see 2 comma 4 comma 5, 3 records will be read into ds2 dataset. 102, 104, 105. Correct? Raj, you are confusing us here. So do slice is equal to set ds1 point equal to slice output end stop. Too many statements are there. It's confusing for us. Any shortcuts? Any other alternative methods? Uddha, you don't want alternative methods? Huh? Right. So now if you see data ds3, set ds1. So whenever you are trying to read data into corresponding columns, how SAS will read? What is the concept data step process? You know PDV. What is PDV? Program data vector. So what is the concept of PDV? Interview question for freshers. అని చెప్పా పనిమాల. Huh? I asked yesterday to practice. ఎస్టర్డే వదిలిపెడితే అసలు ఫస్ట్ నుంచే మర్చిపోయారు మొత్తం. ఎందుకు ఇట్లా అయిపోయారు సడన్గా? వై యార్, వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్? ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు పెద్ద గజనీల దారిలో తయారయ్యారు ఒకళ్ళు. వర్షంలో తడిస్తే కూడా బుర్రలో ఉన్న మట్టి మొత్తం పోయింది. సో సబ్జెక్ట్ పోయిందేంటి? సబ్జెక్ట్ కూడా పోయింది దాంతోపాటు. If underscore and underscore is equal to 2. So whenever you are reading data into corresponding variables, SAS at the backend, it will create two automatic variables, underscore and underscore, underscore error underscore. So if you run the program, you see DS3 data set. You got second record, right? If you want multiple records, how shall I handle it? I can handle this way, sir, no? I can handle this way, sir, no? DS3 will have 3 records, 101, 102, sorry, 102, 4, 5. ఎందుకంత గజనీలా తయారయ్యారు? ఇవాళ ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ సాస్ ఇంటర్నెట్ తయారయ్యారేంటి? ఏమైంది? లాస్ట్ వీక్ క్లాసెస్ తీసుకున్నాగా నేను. ఆన్లైన్ వీ హ్యాడ్ రైట్, వీ జస్ట్ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ వన్ క్లాస్ ఎస్టర్డే. Yesterday I was not at all feeling well. So I thought till last minute, I wanted to come, but so with this throat, it was, yesterday it was paining also. So I thought, okay, I will take a break. That too for only one class, only your class I took a break. So next class onwards, I was, I have taken other classes. So because I have to come early in the morning in that cold light, so I thought I will give a break. ఒక్కరోజు క్లాస్ లేకపోతే ఎట్లా అవుతారా మీరు? Parallelly, I am planning to take CDs also for you. How you will handle here? How will you handle? Last week, all you guys are super. What happened to this week? What happened? Why is this change? Why is this sudden change? ఇంకా ఆన్లైన్ పెట్టను నేను, ఇంకా తడుచుకుంటారండి. నేను వచ్చేస్తాను, నేను ఐ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ మై కార్. తడుచుకుంటారండి, ఆన్లైన్ పెట్టను నేను ఇంకా. వెరీ స్ట్రేంజ్ హియర్, all of a sudden, everyone. That's okay. Bye, guys.